Hi there, this is Abhishek, and in this video I will talk about how you can connect or import your Excel workbook data into R. So if you are an experienced R user or recently started using R for doing the analysis work, you must have observed that the most preferred approach, which is talked everywhere, whether blogs or in books, is the importing the CSV file or a comma separated value files as a preferred approach into the R. But like any other business user, even for me, I receive most of my data into different kind of Excel workbooks. So every time if I have to save the workbook in CSV format and then try to import it in R, kind of a one more manual step into doing all this different kind of analysis within the R. So how good it will be, if we are directly importing the Excel workbook data instead of converting the Excel workbook into CSV and then importing it into the R. So the package of interest in this case is the XLConnect. So here I'm in this package section where I have already installed the XLConnect. If you don't have, then you can simply go run this command install.packages and just mention XLConnect. But since I have already installed in my R system, R Studio system, so I will just remove this. Now I need to use it, so I will put a command there, library, and the name of the package. Once it is loaded, so it is loading all the required solutions and everything, the packages which it needs to connect to the Excel workbook, and then we can start importing the Excel workbook. So for that, what we can do is we need to first define the workbook. First need to load the workbook, and then we need to read the workbook. So to load the workbook in an object, we will specify a custom object. WB1 means workbook 1, and then load the workbook. Load workbook. So what it says, need to specify the file name, and create is equals to false. That means you want to create it or not. So let's go ahead and specify the file name by providing my preferred option, which is file.choose. Allow me to choose the file from my file system wherever it is, and let's specify create is equals to true, and a dialog will be open for me, and I can go into the desktop. I have some stocks data which is here, and I open it. So if I simply write WB1, it will just give me the indication of where the file is stored. So nothing can be done over here until we read it. So read underscore WB1, a new object we are creating to read the workbook 1, and we are saying read worksheet. So what we now need to specify the object, that means the WB1, which sheet we want to read, that means sheet 1, 2, 3. We can either specify number or the name, and then if we have any custom settings, like we want row to be started from 10, that means reading the file has a starting row value as 10, then we can specify it. If not, if we are not specifying, it will start it right from the start. That means the first cell of the worksheet. So let's go ahead and quickly read it. WB1 is the object and sheet, let's say 1, and we enter it. Now since it has read the worksheet, so let's try to write this here, maybe like head, because it has a lot of values. So as you must be aware, head is having or shows the first top 5 or 6 values. So head and name of the object WB1. So since the space is small, that's why it has been truncated and shown in the next row. So it is showing you the different values which it has read, and after Once we have stored this in this object read underscore wb1, which will be of type data frame, if we are not sure, then we can put a structure command str and say read underscore wb1. You will see it is a data frame of 367 observations, that means the number of rows, and 23 variables, that means the number of columns, and here are your 23 columns. So that's how you can quickly read or import the Excel workbook data into the R system and start doing the analysis. And this will help in avoiding the conversion of workbook or Excel workbook into a CSV file into the R by utilizing this XLConnect package. Now let's move ahead and see one other thing. So once we have loaded the workbook by utilizing these two different commands, what we can also do, we can directly read the Excel worksheet in just one single step. So for that we have a different function. So let's say we want to read the same data file wb2, let's give it a name, and we will say read worksheet from file. So this function, earlier we have used read worksheet, if you see it here, but now in this case, the second case, we will use the read worksheet from file. What it will help is avoiding writing this step load workbook. In that case, it is taking care of this step and directly reading the worksheet from the file. So let's go ahead and utilize this. So I will again use my option file.choose. It will open up a dialog to me, and from there I can read the file, and I would say create, I think the option is not here, create file.choose. I will simply go ahead and choose the file, and the file is stock data. So what it is saying, let's evaluate this error, because that may come if you are just choosing or just specifying the file option. So intentionally I have done it so that once you can better understand it if you are just specifying the one parameter, which is just file.choose. So what it's saying, unable to find an inherited method or function read worksheet from signature workbook missing. So what it's basically saying in a layman language, that hey, you are saying that you want to read the worksheet, but you have not specified the worksheet. So let's simply go ahead and put 1 now, and now it's again asking us to select the file and put a stock data. So now this time it has not given us an error. So don't forget to specify either the sheet name as a second parameter or the number of that sheet, that means first sheet, second sheet, or third sheet. Now if I read by utilizing the same head, read underscore w2, it will give us the similar values which we got it in by utilizing two different steps, and here in this case we are just specifying one simple step and getting the values right into our art system. So after this, one other thing which you can do, and generally it is available in your Excel workbook, is the named ranges. So most of the business users, even I am specifying the named ranges because it helps doing the calculation comparatively faster when specifying it within those complex formulas. So if I have a named range and I just want to read that from my Excel file, I can do that. So I would say WB and R, which is named range, and I can specify the function named NAME. So that is first we need to specify the read, just give me a moment here, read name range. Yeah, so again you have two options here in this case, like load workbook, the read sheet and read sheet from file. So similarly, for first option, you need to first load the workbook and then utilize this function read named region. But if you want to do everything in one step, then specify read named region from file, and here in this case we will specify the file name, which is like file.choose, and then we need to specify the name of that range. So maybe something like named range, just an example I'm giving, or we have like geo values, geographical values. So whatever may be the named range, as a second parameter you need to specify that named range. So let me just go into the background and pause this video and create a range to get the top 10 values, and then come back here. Okay, so I have just defined the range in my worksheet. The name of the range is the top 10 values. So nothing that I have done is just selected the values, and from the options of defining the named range, I have given that range top 10 values. So I will now go ahead and select this file, which is on desktop and stock data. So if you can see, I did not find any error because I have defined what I need to import. And now I can simply write this command and it will give me the values. So as you can see, I'm getting 9 values because I have selected maybe like just 10 rows considering this header. But if you want to select, if I would have selected the 10 rows, I would have got the 10 rows based on the ranges that I've specified. So that's how you can read in multiple options, either directly from sheet by specifying the sheet name, or if there is any range within your workbook, you can directly specify that range, and in that case we don't have to specify in which sheet it is present. It will gonna directly choose the function will directly going to pick the range based on the name it is specified in your workbook. So in this video, that's what I wanted to discuss, mainly about the importing data and then reading data by utilizing these different options. And in the next video, I will talk about how you can write data back to the Excel workbooks. So till then, bye-bye.